everybody, and welcome to this special on Mars transiting in Cancer. I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the Sun and the Moon, are any given time in the sky, and all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah. So Mars is in Cancer from the 2nd of April at 8:59 p.m. until the 7th of April at 12:07 p.m. when Mars leaves out of bounds, because when it enters Cancer on the 2nd of April it's out of bounds. So Mars still stays in Cancer until the 6th of June at 9:42 in bounds. So yeah, so Mars is the planet of action and energy, motivation, and when it transits through Cancer, the sign of emotions and nurturing, it creates a unique dynamic. It brings together the drive of Mars with the sensitivity of Cancer, allowing for a time to align our actions with our emotional needs. So positively, it encourages us to take action that resonates with our heart. It's a time to go after our goals that feel personally meaningful and nurturing to us right now. Our motivation drive can become more compassionate, focusing on creating security and comfort for yourself and others, and it can manifest in us making career moves that prioritize our well-being, so reducing our hours at work, or maybe increasing them for some of you, or changing a career. We can just have more of a protective instincts of ourselves and others, wanting to protect those we care about. We should channel this energy into creating a safe and supportive environment for ourselves and others. But negatively, we can become, because we can be moody with this energy and our sensitivity can be increased, we can be prone to emotional reactions. So we just have to be mindful of impulsive decisions driven by feelings rather than logic. We can also be defensive in our behaviour, become moody, as I said, especially when our emotional boundaries are challenged. So yeah, assert your boundaries, but try and do it in a peaceful way, forgive others of mistakes. Unresolved emotions may come up as well, which can get in the way of our progress, and it's important to confront and heal any wounds that come up, any psychological, spiritual, emotional wounds. The best use of this energy is to use this time to go after activities that align with your emotional needs and your spiritual and psychological needs as well, whether it's advancing in a nurturing career, or creating a comforting home environment, or doing that inner and shadow work, getting to know your inner world a bit more. Let your heart guide your actions right now, but in a safe way. Don't let others overstep your boundaries, as I said. Practice emotional awareness as well. Spend some time on self-reflection, understanding your emotional triggers and your psychological and spiritual ones as well. Journaling or therapy, dance, art, music can help you navigate and manage your feelings more effectively. Nurture your relationships as well. Focus on building and strengthening your relationship. Offer support to others and communicate openly about your needs to yourself and others as well. So to practically integrate this energy, dedicate time, organise your living or work environment to feel more secure and comfortable. Participate in activities that bring you joy and comfort, such as cooking, dancing, gardening, or anything else, and, you know, maybe spending time, quality time with those you care about. Engage in mindful communication, you know, express your needs in a mindful way, and clarify what you mean by what you say, and, you know, be clear, basically, to avoid misunderstandings, because we can all be a bit moody with this energy because we're sensitive, you know. So yeah, we can just feel motivated to take care of our emotional well-being, and that's the good best use of this energy as well, and protecting our emotional space by setting those boundaries. But, you know, the emotional negativity and reactivity negatively can just lead to us being defensive and mood swings. So just practice self-awareness and emotional intelligence to manage your emotions effectively, and be able to be flexible with others if they, you know, are moody, and, you know, rather than you getting moody as well and things getting explosive, maybe walk away, try and diffuse the situation, cool it down, you know, by being understanding, but be understanding in a way that doesn't take away from you being able to enforce your boundaries and create a safe space for your own emotions as well. So financially, we can just become more disciplined in our approach to finances, reviewing our budget, saving more, investing more wisely, looking after our long-term financial security. But negatively, we have to watch out for financial fears or unexpected expenses. So, you know, stay proactive and have a contingency plan to avoid stress. In terms of our political world, expect structure in our governments. There may be more of a focus on social welfare and well-being, and policies that emphasize mental health and community support. But watch out, because there could be inflexible policies that may not adapt to change. So, you know, we must advocate in our communities, in our home, in our nations, for flexibility and compassion in leadership. The change starts with each and one of us, you know. On the materialistic, social, collective level, we may shift towards valuing intangible assets like mental health and creativity. There could be an increase in support for arts and spiritual initiatives. Negatively, avoid over-reliance on material security, and so you nurture your spiritual and emotional well-being alongside your material goals right now. We should, you know, really get real about what we want out of our life, and especially how we are using our motivational drive effectively, or how we're misusing it, you know, and doing things that increase our healthy sense of self and authentic self-expression. Psychologically, we can feel more motivated to take care of your emotional well-being and create a nurturing environment. This is a great time to set boundaries and protect your emotional space, but be cautious of emotional reactivity. Mars in Cancer can sometimes, as I said, lead to us being defensive, right? So we just have to practice self-awareness, as I said earlier, to manage our moods effectively. Spiritually encourages us to be self-reflective. It's a time to nurture our inner world and align our actions with intuition. We may feel a sense of restlessness or confusion about our spiritual path, so we have to learn to trust our intuition and take small, meaningful daily steps towards reaching our spiritual and other goals, you know, getting back up after every failed attempt, and there will be many. In terms of the hidden esoteric meanings, it's about using action to heal emotional wounds, releasing old hurts, and creating emotional growth by addressing subconscious patterns. Negatively, there might be a tendency to hide from emotional challenges, and remember that true growth comes from facing and healing these wounds. On the symbolic and creative level, we can just feel more inspired to be nurturing to ourselves and others. It's a great time to channel our creativity into projects that bring us comfort and joy and happiness. But negatively, creative blocks of feeling overly sensitive to criticism can get in the way. And remember, everybody creates differently. It's all about you, and I believe everyone's got their needs, and sometimes the things we create are just for us, for our own psychological and emotional healing. And people can criticize both sides because they may not like our work, but as long as you like it, right? So embrace the vulnerability and use it as a source of inspiration. So, collectively we may just focus on our well-being as well, and there can be more initiatives in prioritizing mental health and nurturing environments as well. People may be more inclined to engage in volunteer work as they may be more compassionate and just wanting to look after others, driven by a desire to help others. And there can just be advising policies and movements that protect people who are vulnerable, which is a good thing, right? Which reflects our increased collective need to desire and care and nurture at this time. So in terms of transiting aspects affecting Mars transit in Cancer, so we've got Mercury making a trine to Mars, so this allows us to communicate our actions more clearly and express our intentions clearly as well, and we can just be more strategic in our decisions and be more effective in our actions as well. Venus is trine to Mars, allows us to bring more grace and harmony to our actions and words. It allows us to find the balance between being assertive and being charming and resonating with others as well in a non-people pleasery way. It lights us and helps us to be less confrontational, which is really good because, we can be all a bit moody. So it allows us to diffuse, angry situations. Mars is trine to Saturn, brings that grounding influence that allows us to take personal responsibility and be disciplined in our actions and words, allowing us to, execute our plans with purpose and strategically as well. Mars is sextile to Uranus, allows us to be open to new ideas, integrate them into our daily lives, be more creative, and we can find inventive solutions to our problems and make progressive moves forwards with our goals and other things. Mars is trine to Neptune, allows us to align our actions with our intuition and higher purpose. We can feel inspired to take steps that align with our deeper values and goals as well. And Mars is trine to the North Node, allows us to connect our actions with our life purpose, and we can just feel a more sense of direction and authenticity. So again, it supports us in making meaningful, future orientated decisions that help us to progress and move forward, right? And this is what this energy wants us to do. Negatively, Mars is square to Chiron, can bring up past emotional wounds, making it hard for us to follow through in our actions and words, and it adds to the sensitivity and vulnerability. But the best use of this energy is to use it to heal and overcome old problems through, hard work and efforts, building new routines, getting real about what it's going to take to make ourselves happy and doing it. Mars is sextile to the South Node, can bring up family patterns from the past, and this may be scary and you may not want to go there, but it's reminding us not to repeat old behaviours and patterns and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow from rather than to run and numb ourselves from, right? So ultimately these aspects wants us to make more effective decisions and daily routines that are aligned with our goals, and it reminds us to address, confront emotional, psychological and spiritual wounds and avoid repeating past mistakes, right? And use any challenges that come up for, growth and healing. There's also a stellium that involves Pisces. So we've got Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Saturn, Neptune and Moon's North Node in Pisces within a 27% orb. So this stellium allows us to be more progressive in our spiritual insights and emotional sensitivity, getting to the root of our emotional sensitivity and, allowing ourselves to deal with it in healthy ways, whether it be self-care, nice bath, journaling, meditation, whatever, allowing us to to be more aligned with our inner world. We can reflect on past communications, especially in emotional kind of contexts, thinking about how we express our feelings, and we can revisit old conversations in our head or with the people we need to for clarity. Venus retrograde wants us to focus on what truly brings us joy and reflect on our past relationships, what we feel we did right, what we feel we did wrong, in order to become better in relationships with ourselves and others in the future. Saturn in Pisces allows us to be more disciplined in our emotional life and more grounded, and to work through our emotional, psychological and spiritual wounds with maturity, and it helps us build more viable plans to manage our emotional, psychological and spiritual worlds, right? And Neptune in Pisces can increase our intuition and sensitivity, making us more compassionate in our actions. And the Moon's North Node guides us towards and supports us with our future emotional, psychological and spiritual stability and spiritual growth. Our actions can become more purposeful right now, meaningful and more aligned with our long-term goals and intuition. But we just need to watch out for overthinking and hesitation, because this stellium adds to it. We should trust our intuition, but also allow time for reflection. Don't be hasty to follow through in everything. Watch out for overthinking as well. Sometimes we need to hesitate, sometimes we do need to think a bit. Saturn's influence can bring delays to our goals, so remember, slow and steady wins the race. And although it can be frustrating, sometimes things slowing down is a blessing. Use this time and energy to plan carefully and ensure your actions and words are well considered. Neptune's presence can make us more vague right now. It's important to balance inspiration with practical steps to maintain clarity. So use this time to reflect, heal and plan with intention. That's the best use of this action. Okay, so in terms of the karmic meanings and lessons, it brings and teaches us how to balance our emotional sensitivity with assertiveness. It's all about understanding when to protect your emotions and when to express them healthily. It also highlights the importance of setting boundaries while still being nurturing. It's a lesson in giving without depleting, draining yourself. In terms of our past life memories and dreams, we can just have past experiences that come up related to unhealed emotional, psychological and spiritual wounds. And memories and dreams involving themes of family and home, reflecting past life patterns that need resolving now. This is a chance to heal old family wounds. In terms of the collective karma, we can just all be focused on collective emotional healing. It's a time to confront said emotional traumas and create empathy, so we can just work with each other now in our families, communities and nations, to bring more emotional balance and healing to our lives. We can just also call for leaders who embody emotional, intelligent and nurturing qualities, moving away from purely logical or aggressive leadership styles, where you want more compassionate leaders. So we should use this time, as I said, the karmic level to heal past emotional wounds and find a balance between sensitivity and strength, engaging in practices that nurture our emotional well-being. We can be collectively more empathetic in interactions. It's a call for us to be part of the solution to creating a more emotionally intelligent society. And by embracing the karmic lessons of Mars in Cancer, we can release old patterns and contribute to a more balanced and compassionate world. So now I'm just going to talk about how Mars in Cancer affect our relationships. So in terms of our family relationships, we can have an increase in emotional support and a stronger sense of unity. Family members may feel more protective and nurturing towards each other. Negatively, mood swings and defensiveness and old family wounds can come up, requiring open communication. And some people may not want to do that inner emotional work as well, and this can cause tension as well. So the best thing I advise you to do is schedule time to bond and confront lingering issues, engage in open conversations to maintain harmony, but be respectful that some people just don't want to let go, and sometimes the best we can do is do our part in letting go of the past and forgiving them and forgiving ourselves, even if others don't forgive us, right? In terms of our friendship, we can deepen them, and deepening them, getting closer as friends can become a priority for some of you. We can feel more connected and understand each other's needs more, but negatively, unspoken tensions can come up, leading to emotional outbursts. So misunderstandings could happen if feelings are not communicated clearly, so try and be as clear as you can. My advice is to check in with friends regularly and express your feelings honestly. Plan activities that create emotional connection and trust. In terms of co-worker relationships, our workplaces can become more empathetic and understanding right now. Colleagues can support each other emotionally or in other ways. Decisions can become more intuitive and considerate of overall team morale, and we can just be more open to each other. But emotional sensitivity once again can lead to overreaction and indecision, and our feelings can cloud our judgment, affecting objective decision making. So my advice is to maintain clear communication and set clear goals to avoid misunderstandings, and also encourage a supportive environment where everybody feels heard. In terms of committed couples, emotional intimacy can deepen, leading to a stronger bond. Partners may feel more protective and nurturing towards each other, but negatively, unresolved emotional issues can come up, causing tension. It's important to confront these issues constructively. So, schedule regular date nights and have open conversations about feelings. Consider couple therapies to navigate any challenges. In terms of hookup relationships, our encounters can feel more passionate and emotionally charged, and this can create memorable experiences. But on the other hand, emotional entanglement could complicate things if boundaries ain't clear. It's important to be honest about your intentions. If you just want to hook up, just say it. Don't pretend you want more. Communication is key, as well as respecting each other's space and needs as well. So yeah, my advice is to keep communication open and, be clear about your expectations to make sure everyone involved is on the same page, In terms of those who are single and self-partner, it's a great time for self-care and self-reflection. Focus on nurturing yourself and understanding your emotional needs. On the negative end, you may feel lonely or self-reflective, but this is a valuable time and energy for personal growth. So, do things that make you happy, practice self-compassion, love, forgiveness, understanding, and reflect on what you really want in future relationships. So in terms of our career development, we can just feel, more driven to succeed in careers that feel like home to us or involve taking care of others, such as real estate, hospitality or healthcare. Our emotional sensitivity can feel, motivate our passion for work right now, making us more dedicated and protective of our professional space and image. But, we just have to watch out for the mood swings and defensiveness that can come up, especially when we're facing criticism or changes in our routine in terms of our career development, In terms of our personal development, it can push us to focus on building emotional strength and creating a sense of security in our personal life. We may feel more protective of our personal space and driven to maintain a comfortable and nurturing environment, but there's the potential to become overly attached to routine, making it harder to adapt or, get outside of our comfort zone. So, be open to change and take risks. In terms of spiritual development, Mars in Cancer can connect us with our intuition and motivate our inner healing, and passion for growth and it can make us more compelled, to engage in practices that nurture our soul. But we have to watch out without balance. The focus on inner healing can lead to burnout and exhaustion. So we have to make sure, we find that balance between working, playing, engaging in our spiritual matters, taking care of our commitments, and, other things, having fun as well, In terms of our educational development, we can feel more motivated to do well in subjects that resonate with us emotionally, like psychology or history. We can just have a stronger motivation to succeed in whatever we put our action to right now, and especially in areas that are meaningful to us, But we can be sensitive to learning styles as well, and this can be challenging in the learning environment, especially if it doesn't align with our personal needs, and this can lead to frustration. So, just try and tailor your educational environments now, or make the best of it, or bring fun, or do the little things out there, maybe having a fluffy ball at the end of a pen, or a nice screensaver, whatever it is you do, In terms of self-partnered and single development, it can just increase our self-love, awareness, and sort of like create a comfortable personal space. We can and should prioritize activities and environments that make us feel safe and cared for, but we just need to watch out for becoming too focused on growth, or just too focused on ourselves and what we want to do now, like, I want to stay in my comfort zone, We have to be open to the changes that can bring growth right now. So now I'm just going to finish up with the questions and the best things to do with Mars's transit in Cancer. So creatives, channel your emotions into art. Let your feelings guide your creativity, whether it's painting, writing or music. Allow your emotions to flow naturally into your work. This is a great time to create from the heart, and it's a great time for intuitive creation. Professionals, focus on emotional intelligence and nurturing leadership in yourself and others. Support your team with empathy and understanding. Do things, especially team building activities, that create emotional connection and trust. Practice active listening to better understand your colleagues' needs. Entrepreneurs, develop a brand that resonates emotionally with your audience. Focus on nurturing your team and yourself, and create a supportive work environment. Use this time to build strong emotional intelligence, in your relationships with your clients and employees. Consider implementing wellness programs to support mental health, alternative healers. Engage in deep emotional healing practices such as intuitive readings or energy work. Use your intuition to guide your healing sessions. Focus on helping clients release emotional blockages and finding your peace. For lovers, deepen your emotional connection through intimate activities like couples meditation or heartfelt conversations. Schedule regular date nights and open discussions about your feelings. Consider couples therapy to strengthen your bond. If you're single and self-partnered, do things that bring you happiness. Practice self-compassion and reflect on your emotional needs. So in terms of questions to ask yourself about your financial needs, you can ask yourself, am I making financial decisions based on fear or anxiety? How can I create a budget that reflects my true values and needs? Am I saving enough for the future while enjoying the present? And this can help us understand the emotional drivers behind our spending habits and lead to more mindful financial decisions. In terms of your emotional needs, ask yourself what makes you feel safe and loved. Are you holding on to past hurts that you need to release to move forward in your life? Ask yourself, do my relationships nourish my soul or take away from my soul, And these questions can help you identify what brings you comfort and help you confront past wounds, and this can lead to healthier emotional boundaries and more fulfilling relationships. In terms of your spiritual needs, ask yourself, do I feel connected to something greater than myself? Am I nurturing my spiritual side through practices that resonate with me? Ask, how can I let go of past emotional pain to deepen my spiritual journey. You know, you can strengthen your spiritual connection by asking yourself these questions, and you can be open to guidance and finding more peace in your life. And it can just help you work through life's challenges with more grace, you know. In terms of your psychological needs, how do my emotions influence my decisions and actions? Am I using my emotions wisely, or am I avoiding certain feelings? You can ask yourself, am I being kind and compassionate with myself? And this can help you gain insight into what drives you emotionally and can lead to a more balanced decision-making process, you know, for yourself, and a healthier mindset. In terms of your physical needs, you can ask yourself, how are my emotions affecting my physical health? Am I doing things that bring me physical comfort and joy? Am I using exercise or movement to release tension and stress? Am I eating right? Am I sleeping right? What do I need to do to improve my physical well-being, you know, and energy levels, you know? So in conclusion, Mars in Cancer gives us the opportunity to merge our actions with our emotional needs, creating and nurturing and supporting environment both personally and collectively. We can use this to align our, you know, actions with our emotional needs, as I said, whether it's advancing in a career that's more nurturing or creating more comfort in our environment. It wants us to engage in emotional self-reflection and understand emotional triggers. So journaling or therapy can help you work through and manage our feelings effectively. It can also help us focus on building and strengthening our relationships, and that's the best use of this energy. Offering healthy support to others and communicating more openly about your needs. But negatively, we have to be mindful of impulsive reactions driven by emotions, and take the time to reflect before acting to ensure our actions are thoughtful and aligned with our goals. And you know, we just have to avoid defensive behaviour, being overly protective and moody. Practice open communication and empathy to maintain healthy boundaries. And as I said, use this time to confront and heal emotional wounds. It's a powerful time to work on your personal growth and emotional resilience. And by embracing this energy, you can create meaningful change in your life, get outside of your comfort zone, and do the things that resonate deeply with you at heart, you know. So yeah, that's the end of this in-depth analysis on what to do when Mars is in Cancer. I'm Amani, your holistic astrological life coach. Take care and see you next time.